Kyle with Field and Tree Care. Today we're going to just do a quick little video of what we found to be kind of the essentials of being an arborist and going out and doing estimates for clients, along with a couple kind of quality of life improvement items that maybe you haven't thought of. To start, some of the essentials, having a way to take down information. So notebooks are great, obviously. We have a guy on staff that swears by graph paper, just being able to take down handwritten notes. A lot of times you're going to be typing estimates on a computer, but if you're not doing that, it's nice to have one of these carbon copy forms where you have somebody who doesn't want to give you an email, something like that. You can write this out in the field, give them a copy, take a copy for yourself. Obviously, you should always have some documentation to give the client: business card, a brochure, something with some information, a door hanger. We have one that has this nice detachable business card, something like that. These are kind of just absolutely tried and true, have to have them. Obviously, also pens. One of my favorite is the double-sided Sharpie. You can take notes on something we'll hit later down the line, some flagging tape or anything you need to write on in the field, or take some smaller notes. Just a couple different pens. Diameter tape. Now, it's hard to find one that has all the qualities that this one has. This one's through Rainbow Tree Care. The best parts about this are that it has a little clip, so it makes it really easy to carry with you. It also has the hook, so when you're trying to take the diameter around a tree, you can hook it. If you've ever done this in the field, you know how important that is versus the ones that don't have that. It also has diameter on one side and regular inches on the other side, which you will not find on all of them. So when you're trying to measure a gate for equipment access, this is nice to have. I also like to carry around a clipboard that has some storage in it. This one also has a calculator, so if you're doing some of those diameter conversions, it's nice to have that right here. You don't have to get out extra stuff. I also went ahead and threw a little compass on there because when you're out in somebody's backyard, can't see the mountains or something, don't know which way is west, it's nice to say, oh, south corner, something like that. So I found that very helpful. Moving forward is going to be kind of the stuff I found that's way above and beyond what you have to carry, but it's nice to have. So some work for doing stuff in the field, some gloves, some arm sleeves to keep yourself from being scratched up, a helmet. It's good for when you're joining the crew and you're going to maybe look at a job that you've sold and you want to kind of be on site. Having a nice saw in case you need to make some cuts yourself, or a hand snip. Even having a pull printer in your car is nice. There's been a bunch of times where you show up to an estimate and it's one branch and you can just take care of it there. It's good client relations to kind of sometimes be able to take care of stuff yourself. I've also found that this one tool has probably helped me on sales more than anything other than diameter tape, and that's a laser. So this is a nice, powerful green laser, 25 bucks on Amazon. This will clear up so many discussions because you're out there and you're going, we're going to remove that limb. And the client goes, oh yeah, that limb. And you go, no, that limb. And you find out that when you hand this to them and they point out the limb, it's half the tree. And you realize, okay, we're not having the same discussion. So this is really good for showing where you're going to make those clearance cuts, maybe pointing out cavities or defects in the tree. It's crucial because pointing it just never turns out that you're talking about the same thing. To that same topic, a pair of binoculars sometimes helps. So if you have a big cottonwood, big silver maple, something that could have cavities in the top, you see a woodpecker up there, something. I don't always use this. Most of the time this sits in my car, but it's nice for those few occasions where it's like, hey, now I can see the one thing just a little bit better. I also, again, carry these 3 books in the back of my car. We got Insects and Diseases of Woody Plants, Best Pruning Practices, basically. So this is just nice stuff to kind of show the client as like, hey, this is kind of the hunt for the problem, maybe between estimates. This is to show the client some information if you're trying to educate somebody. And this is just a planting guide, basically a catalog for a local nursery. Again, we have a lot of people where if you're removing a tree, they say, hey, what should I replace it with? It's nice to kind of be able to show them some options, and maybe they can Google those themselves. Tapes and paints. When you're on a job site, this is usually done, after the point of sale. So when you're going back and you're, say, walking the crew through a project, we like to have a couple different tapes so you can mark something. Let's say you're at a big townhome community. You can mark, hey, these trees are being pruned. These trees are being removed. These trees have some special conditions, like I'm going to put this orange tape around the kid's favorite branch that they use to climb up into the tree, or yes, this branch is dead, but it's where she hangs her bird feeder, that kind of stuff. That also comes back to having the Sharpie, being able to write on it like this is item A, this is item B. That kind of stuff is it's nice. These, again, it's a quality of life improvement. I use flags sometimes for marking out stump grindings. So these came in really helpful last year when I did the estimate, marked a bunch of stumps, and then it snowed, and we could still find them. Same with the spray paint. I've used this a few times only on jobs that are definitely happening, to mark trees that we're doing, stumps that we're doing, that kind of stuff. Caution tape I've used for areas where, let's say it's a hazard and we can't get there for a couple days. A downed tree in a parking lot, a hanging branch over the sidewalk next to a school, that kind of stuff. Or even just marking out areas where I don't want people to park because we need that area to set up our bucket truck to take down a tree. Bug net, bug jar, more for the nerd. If you like collecting bugs, we've used this a few times to try to identify certain species. So, we had banded ash borer that, a client kept saying, we had this bug on our tree. Finally caught a few samples, were able to identify it. We found, sequoia pitch moth, something that wasn't even supposed to be here. We found it, located it, was able to send some samples into a lab, get them to identify it. This is just something for measuring out footage. So we have a lawn care program. This is good for kind of running the circumference of a lawn, making some calculations, versus jumping on a Google overhead and trying to get a rough estimate. We can walk the property, so it's nice for that. Same for also measuring maybe distances to a tree. If you're, say, removing something with a crane or some kind of unit that you need that distance calculation. And then lastly, way less important, but this is just stuff I have thrown in the door of my car, because as a sales rep, you want to look fine on estimate 1 and estimate 10 of the day. So lint roller, some hand sanitizer, a little bit of a moisturizer and sunscreen situation. And then this stuff, it's Miss Mouth's Messy Eater Stain Remover. And if you're having lunch and something drips on you, somehow this stuff works like witchcraft and just gets rid of it. So when you're at that first estimate, you got the dog that jumps on your pants, you're having lunch and you got the one drip of ketchup on your shirt, this is something that helps get rid of that. So that's everything that I found is necessary and helpful for doing estimates in the field as an arborist. I guess like and subscribe, and we'll hopefully get you some more videos like this.